September, the Dolphins lost their first matchup against the Jets. Can New York finish the sweep? Find out next on EA Sports.
We are situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. Again, everyone, with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
Versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in week 4. Take it in at the 3. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU at Zach Wilson.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
A tough running, but not a ton to show for it. They stop him shy of the 25. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing one play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled in.
Corey Davis, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
An early message that this secondary is going to be tested because even though it fell incomplete, it almost felt like a warning shot to get things going.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Returnable for Grant. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
The throw over the middle taken in. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. This defense for the Jets, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. Good sizable run there by Deshaun Watson on the RPO.
That's in his DNA as a quarterback. He's been doing that since high school. He understands the RPO game as well as any quarterback in the league, and he makes excellent decisions. And when he takes off and goes, his team's pretty happy about it.
The numbers for him from a week ago. A boatload of carries, 99 yards.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football. That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Pushing through the contact. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
They run with Mostert off the option, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. This defense for the Jets, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Got a man, it's Waddle, complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now most read option. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This is a 2nd and 4, ball at the 9. From the gun, a run with Mostert. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pick.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Raheem Mostert, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives. Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken in at the 3. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2. And it was the Jets winning on the road, so they're looking to finish off the sweep here now at MetLife Stadium. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they run from the gun with Gordon. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The numbers a week ago from Melvin Gordon. 18 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space because the defense will key on it.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Play action. It's Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
So Miami coming out for their second drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. This defense for the Jets, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough. Down. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. This defense for the Jets, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
2nd down and 8. Watson now to throw. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Will Lutz on for the point after. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. And out come the Dolphins now. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. Watson off play action. Rolling to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure is good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
They run out of the shotgun with Mostert, and he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. These two teams all tied after 1. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On 1st down, they go with Mostert again. Down to about the 22 here. 43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though. And they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. And the Jets defense making things difficult there. 4th down. The kick by Sanders is good. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field.
And what a luxury it is to have the kick.
They run with Mostert off the option. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Sanders' kick is good. And And now it's a two-score game at 9, 16-7. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Melvin Gordon now, he and the offense, they trot back out there. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. They go play action now. Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. That time trying to find Gerald Everett, but now it'll be third down. This time they stay on the ground. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they try to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Here's Wilson. Man open, here is Crowder. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wilson. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. Gerald Everett is tied in, the intended receiver, and now it's third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And Lutz puts this one through. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where you see the final score there. Lamar Jackson, excellent in the victory as his guys move to 3-1 after 4 games. From there, let's get over to Arizona to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Carolina Panthers. Sam Darnold has a couple of touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get you way up to Seattle. See what's happening with the Seahawks. In that matchup, all even in their battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. With that, let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Miami. And they've had some success on the ground. And with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Jets, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Both teams making their final adjustments for the second half to come. And to bring the action your way, we go back to MetLife Stadium and Brandon Goff.
After the interception, here's Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all. Now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. They will find Davis. That's complete. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage. Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 3rd down, it's Hines. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here?
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. Miami set to take over. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going, and above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
They'll start on the ground with Mostert. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back. Tell him to take care of the ball and try and move forward.
And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. He went backwards there 8 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. Now Watson. Now he's flushed out right. And incomplete on the deep ball. CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. New York ready to go again offensively. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth-quarter lead. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
95 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
On first down, Wilson. Targets the sideline here. Crowder has it. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards, the final tally. Here's Wilson to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. He tried to get the nose of the football across to no avail, and now 3rd and goal. Gordon. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Melvin Gordon, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jets are an extra point away from leading this game. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Jakeem Grant now to return. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the 2nd half. They'll need to change that here. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphins shaking up on the play. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
But again, they'll run it with Mostert. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
But sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. Flush to it, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking him. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll only get a couple here. That'll bring up 4th down, and they'll have time to talk things over as we have reached the 2-minute warning. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. That'll bring up second down. To throw, Watson. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. And able to find Gesicki as tight end. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as the understanding where they are in the field?
Now Watson. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. They'll get that out wide to Waddle. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'd love to get a little closer if they need to kick the field goal on 4th down. From this spot, it's 46 yards. Watson to throw. Being chased out left. And he will slide down with a good gain. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Sanders' kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
So here is Wilson and the Jets. Down by 2, 57 seconds to go. They've won 3 in a row, but they've got work to do if they want to get a 4th in a row as they come up on first down. Throwing now is Wilson. Pass caught by Crowder. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Pass complete to Hines. That catch good for only a couple. And it's a rush to the line right now for the Jets. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And the defense loses him. It's complete.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? The answer's pretty evident to me.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. He's going to let it fly. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. Going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Jets, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll try again next week at home against New England.